I figured it out. Yep. After years of speculation, fan theories, and endless arguments on Reddit, I think I've cracked the code. I know. You're probably thinking, oh no, here we go. Another New Vegas theory, but stick with me. Because this one is different. This time, it's about the real ending. The one the Fallout TV series might actually be hinting at. And spoiler alert, Mr. House, that stubborn old genius who hasn't blinked in 200 years, might just be the true canon. But that's not all. His victory changes everything. So let's dive into why Mr. House may have won it all, and how it left the Mojave's factions scrambling for survival. And yes, I'm talking about Caesar's Legion, the NCR, and wait for it, what if the Brotherhood of Steel actually teams up with the Legion? Yep, buckle up, because this is about to get wild. Mr. House was never in this just to survive. While Caesar was out there parading around in his borrowed Roman armor, and the NCR was drowning in red tape, House was playing chess. And not just any chess, like 5D underwater nuclear chess. He wasn't interested in just holding territory. He wanted an empire that would outlast every faction in the Mojave. But here's the real kicker. If Mr. House did win, what does that mean for everyone else? What's left of Caesar's Legion, the NCR, and the Brotherhood? What if desperation pushed them into the unlikeliest alliance of all time? Legion warriors teaming up with Brotherhood paladins. I know, sounds insane, but let's dig deeper.
To secure the future of New Vegas, I must have your assistance. The work ahead is dangerous, but you weather danger well.
Everyone in New Vegas thought they had a winning hand. The NCR was convinced they could just stroll in and civilize the place. Caesar's Legion believed they could beat anyone into submission. And yes man, well, he was just kinda happy to be invited to the party. But House? He wasn't gambling. He was the house, the dealer. He knew he'd win because he made the rules. He's the guy who looked at the apocalypse and said, I'll just wait it out for a few centuries. No biggie. And it worked. Now, I want to give a big shout out to I Don't Even 3712 on the last Mr. House deep dive I did, who said it best. So, the best ending is a canon ending. Yeah, that's exactly it. House planned it so well, his ending feels inevitable. The guy doesn't play to win. He plays to make sure everyone else loses. Now, House wasn't just playing moves. He was playing the whole board. While everyone else was arguing over who gets the biggest slice of the Mojave, he was watching from his penthouse, drinking pre-war wine, and laughing at the chaos below. He knew that no matter who came knocking, the NCR, Caesar, or anyone else, he was the one holding all of the cards. Now, here's where things get spicy. In the Fallout TV series, the NCR is stretched thin. Caesar's Legion is, well, we'll get to them. And the Brotherhood? Barely holding on by their shiny metallic fingers. If House really did secure New Vegas, the fallout, pun intended, leaves everyone else in a pretty bad spot. And here's a wild idea. What if, in the chaos, the Brotherhood of Steel and Caesar's Legion decided to team up?
Suffice it to say that when my Securitrons detected NCR scouts at Hoover Dam, I took action. I recruited a tribal force to supplement my Securitrons and renovated the strip just in time to welcome the NCR as it marched into the region. Instead of war, a treaty was negotiated and the money started to pour in.
Now, at Carcoolant from the last video, he brings up a very good point. The show suggests House is the real victor. Why put him in if he's not coming back in a big way? Exactly. House isn't just a relic of the past. He's practically the Mojave's landlord. And as long as he's around, the NCR, Brotherhood, and Legion are fighting for scraps. This could be exactly what pushes the Brotherhood into an alliance with what's left of the Legion. Imagine the Brotherhood, tired of losing ground and desperate for numbers, looking at the Legion's troops like, we may not like these guys, but kinda need them. The Brotherhood of Steel. Usually too proud, too isolated, and too stubborn to work with anyone. But House's victories changes everything. With their resources dwindling and enemies on all sides, the Brotherhood might see potential in the Legion's ruthless loyalty. Let's face it, the Legion is basically a ready-made army. All they need is a tech-savvy leader with some shiny power armor, and boom, you got a force that could actually challenge House's rule.
Our foremost advantage is that Benny doesn't know that I know he has the chip. Let's not squander it.
The Servant of Darkness, 3357, called House the embodiment of transcendence. Spot on, man. But with the Brotherhood down to their last power core, House might look even more untouchable. But desperation makes strange bedfellows, and the Brotherhood just might see the Legion as a lifeline. I mean, hey, better to team up with the crazy Romans than get wiped out, right? So, imagine the Brotherhood leading an army of former Legion soldiers, power armor, and Legion spears marching side by side. Sure, it's like mixing oil and water, but in a world dominated by House, sometimes you gotta get creative. Besides, the Brotherhoods always liked being in charge, and with Caesar gone, the Legion might be looking for a new leader anyway. So, what happened to Caesar's Legion without Caesar? Well, without their beloved dictator, they're basically a headless snake. But instead of disbanding, imagine the Legion remnants finding a new purpose under the Brotherhood's guidance. The Legion soldiers, hardened by years of brutal discipline, joining forces with the Brotherhood's advanced tech, suddenly, they're not just surviving, they're a force that could actually pose a pretty big threat. And Duckwipes 3365 had an interesting thought. Maybe the destruction scenes are just there to keep us guessing. Exactly. What if the Legion isn't down and out, but just lying low, preparing for a comeback under a whole new banner? This alliance could create a whole new kind of faction, one with the Brotherhood's tech obsession and the Legion's ruthless dedication. They might not share the same values, but hey, desperation makes for some wild friends. Alright, if you're still here, you're clearly as hooked on this theory as I am. Do me a favor, hit that like button, guys. Seriously, it's the best thing you can do for me in this video. It helps push it out to all the Fallout fans. And then also, if you got an insight on this too, drop a comment. There could be a third one coming out in the future. You never know, and I might feature your comment like I'm featuring other people's on this one from the first one. So, drop a comment and join this little Wasteland family we're building. Your thoughts keep this conversation alive, guys, and I'd love for you to be part of it. Let's uncover every mystery in the Mojave that it has to offer together. So now, guys, picture this. The NCR, once a mighty force, pushing its influence across the West, is now clinging to its last scraps of power. With Hoover Dam lost, they're like a boxer stumbling in the last round, swinging wildly just to stay upright. The resources they relied on are either gone or slipping away, and morale, practically non-existent. They're spread thin, trying to hold territories that don't even want them there. And meanwhile, New Vegas, under Mr. House's rule, looks like a glittering fortress of prosperity by comparison. It's a harsh wake-up call for the NCR, and a monumental ego check. House probably watches them struggle with a smirk, thinking, amateurs.
I don't respond well to threats. Now, where were we?
And a shout out to Roanoke of the Rain Lords 4184, who really nailed it. The idea that Mr. House is the canon ending of New Vegas is honestly poetic. Mr. House, the immortal autocrat of a dead autocracy. You know, that's the kind of comment that makes you stop and think. House isn't just about survival or winning a battle. He's creating something entirely new, a legacy that mocks the NCR's traditionalism. In House's eyes, the NCR was always a relic of the past, a failed attempt to recreate something that should have stayed dead. Imagine Mr. House looking down on the NCR as they scramble to find some semblance of order. To him, they're just a warning of what happens when you try to resurrect an outdated ideology. Every day, they hold on as another day House proves his vision as the only viable future. The NCR may have the numbers, but without Hoover Dam, they're just spinning their wheels, wasting resources they don't have. House, he's a visionary, and to him, the NCR is a lesson to others that clinging to old ideals is the surest way to lose everything. And honestly, it's kind of funny to think about, guys. You got these NCR officers sitting in some dusty outpost, struggling with water shortages and radiation storms, while House is sitting up in a Lucky 38 with climate-controlled air, sipping on glasses of pre-war wine. Obviously not, but, you know, he's sitting there thinking amateurs. Like, should have invested in robots, you guys, you know? And you know for sure Mr. House would throw in some backhanded compliment to these guys like, well, bless their hearts, they're trying. Now, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about Caesar's Legion. With Caesar out of the picture, his grand empire is, well, not so grand anymore. The Legion has always relied on brute strength, fear, and one man's vision to keep it together. Without Caesar, they're like a snake without a head. Still dangerous, but directionless. Now, here's the twist. What if, in their desperation, the remnants of the Legion seek an alliance with the Brotherhood of Steel? A crazy concept, right? The Brotherhood and the Legion are polar opposites, I know. The Legion is about ruthless dominance, while the Brotherhood hoards technology and clings to its own weird, quasi-knightly code. But they share one common enemy, Mr. House.
Aaron Kimball, the president of the new California Republic, is going to visit Hoover Dam to boost morale. Apparently, he hasn't considered the effect on the troops' morale of seeing their beloved leader get his brains blown out by a Legion sniper.
Thank you to the Servant of Darkness for this comment. He's really hitting on something deep in their comment. He said, Mr. House is the embodiment of transcendence. He was the rigor of the game. I mean, can we take a moment to appreciate that? House isn't just about fighting for dominance. He's shaping history on his terms, stacking the odds in his favor from the start. Meanwhile, the Legion and Brotherhood, two relics of a lost world, are scrambling for relevance. Now, imagine this unlikely alliance, guys. The Brotherhood sees the Legion as expandable manpower, a force that can soften up House's Securitrons and clear the path. In return, the Legion gets access to the Brotherhood's tech, a match made in desperation. Picture a legionary trying on power armor for the first time, not understanding how it works, and just charging into battle like, let's see what this thing can do. Meanwhile, the Brotherhood Knight just looks on, shaking their head. Now, I mean, the Brotherhood is probably holding training seminars for the Legion guys, but trying to explain concepts like tactical retreat and don't just charge head first, you can almost hear a frustrated Padlin saying, no, Decanus, you don't stab the power armor, you wear it. It's chaos, but it's the kind of chaos that makes the Brotherhood and the Legion just have a chance against House's well-oiled machine. So guys, let's pull it all together. Mr. House, standing tall above a Mojave that's his in every way that matters, he secured Hoover Dam, fortified New Vegas, and crushed every major faction that thought they could challenge him. The NCR, shattered. Caesar's Legion, fragmented and clinging to the Brotherhood like a lifeline. And Mr. House? He's the last man standing, orchestrating a future that looks nothing like the past. To House, the Mojave isn't just a territory, it's a blank canvas. a testing ground for his vision of humanity's next step.
New Vegas is more than a city. It's the remedy to mankind's derailment.
Now, Mr. House, he might just be toying with everyone, allowing them a glimpse of hope just to snatch it away. Think about it. A scorched, ruined New Vegas could be nothing more than a decoy, a ploy to lure his enemies into a false sense of victory. And, while they're celebrating, House is already on to his next plan, rebuilding something even more powerful. It's the ultimate move for a man who's always been 3 steps ahead. Now, can't you just see it, guys? The NCR throws a victory party, popping what little champagne they have left, while House is on a video feed from the Lucky 38, sipping his high-end scotch and muttering, "Bless their little hearts." They actually think they've won. The guy's playing chess, while everyone else is playing tic-tac-toe. So, here we are, standing at the edge of a Mojave transformed, a New Vegas redefined, and a wasteland forever changed by Mr. House's relentless ambition. If there's one thing that's clear, it's this. House didn't just want to survive. He wanted to transcend the petty wars and tribalistic conflicts that everyone seemed to be stuck in. The NCR wanted territory. Caesar, he wanted power. And the Brotherhood, they wanted control of technology. But House, he wanted something far more enduring. He wasn't fighting for land or loyalty. He was fighting to shape the very future of humanity. Think about the Brotherhood of Steel, this once proud order, now at a crossroads. They're facing 2 paths, clinging to their old ways and inevitably fading into irrelevance, or adapt. Maybe even adopt some of the remnants of Caesar's Legion, as wild as it sounds. Caesar's Legion, once so fiercely independent and brutal, now looks to the Brotherhood not as conquerors, but as a way to survive, to give purpose to their warriors in a world that no longer has a place for them. Can you picture it? Brotherhood paladins marching side by side with hardened legionaries, a grim alliance born from necessity rather than mutual respect. Imagine the cultural clash, the rigid tech-hoarding Brotherhood trying to integrate the warrior cult of the Legion. It's like oil and water, guys. But if the only way to counter House, maybe it'll work. Now, House doesn't even think in terms of the NCR or the Brotherhood. Those are just pawns on his board. He's looking beyond that, to a future where New Vegas isn't just a city, it's a beacon. House imagines a world where technology isn't hoarded, where knowledge isn't hidden in bunkers, but freely shared to evaluate humanity. He's even hinted at wanting to reach beyond Earth someday, maybe even colonizing new worlds. A future where humanity rises above its own limitations and finally embraces progress over destruction. To him, this isn't just about ambition, it's his destiny. A way to immortalize himself as the man who refused to let humanity slip back into being barbarians.
With all that money pouring in? Give me 20 years and I'll reignite the high technology development sectors. 50 years and I'll have people in orbit. 100 years and my colony ships will be heading for the stars to search for planets unpolluted by the wrath and folly of a bygone generation.